What's going on, traders? Andrew O'Connell here with Pristine Capital. Welcome to another bathroom edition of this market recap video. As you may be aware, I traveled to Long Island. I actually drove my mom to a surgery today. She was getting some work done on her back. They basically put like a bunch of cement in there. The surgery ended up going really well, which is good. We're going to be back to our normally scheduled program tomorrow. Basically in the trading room, fully live all day, and really being much more active. But thanks so much for your patience while I took care of this. That is much appreciated. So what happened in the market today? Let's talk about it. Wow, this is some pretty crazy action. We had the S&P 500, it was up 1.61% today. We had the NASDAQ QQQ up 2.24%. IWM small caps were up 1.99%. The Dow Jones was up almost a full 1.5%. And then we had the ARK Innovation ETF up 4.05%. My trend model flipped from a -1 to a +1. And the number one question that's probably on every trader's mind today is, why was the market up today? I get that question pretty much all the time whenever the market is up or whenever the market's down. Why is the market moving the way it is? And to be perfectly honest, why not? The S&P 500, it was down maybe like 8% year to date coming into today's session. And now it's down, 6.6%. So yeah, the market, it just moves all around. Contrary to popular trader belief, it's not always just traders every single day, like looking at the news and saying like, hey, am I buying or am I selling today? There's just a lot of institutional flows that are heading through this market every single day. And the other point too is, you could say like, why was the market up? And the other thing that you could say is, who cares why it was up? Take a look here. All you have to do is follow your technical roadmap. We've been talking about this for the past few days, that we have this downward trend line right here, this big teal line. And the area that I want to get more aggressive in this market is if we can definitively break out above the trend line. So tomorrow we do have the potential to do just that. We had Netflix report earnings after the bell. And look how horrible this thing was. Let's take a look at the hourly chart for Netflix. Oh my gosh. Look at this thing. Yeah, Netflix is down. It's dropping like a stone. They reported actually some shrinkage in their earnings and/or sales. And so that really just torpedoed this name. It went from $348 after hours, or when the market closed, to $258 in the after hours market. So that's getting a lot of attention. There's a lot of people, oh my gosh, Netflix, Netflix, Netflix. But if you can't really convert it into any actionable analysis, like what's the point really? Unless you're like active in Netflix, you trade it, etc. And those hypotheticals, they're just kind of for fun, like for some cocktail talk. That's what I would say. But if you're looking to trade this, the NASDAQ, take a look at what we did here. So again, you could draw the same exact downward trend line here, and it does look like we're starting to try to break out of it. Granted, the market is stuck inside of this monthly value area. So overall, we're in this choppy neutral trend. But you can see the NASDAQ, it's down 1.02% after hours. But look at where we are. We had one of the biggest companies in the world, one of the biggest tech names, just completely whiff their earnings report. And we're only giving back, realistically, a portion of today's gains in the NASDAQ. Keep in mind, tomorrow we have Tesla earnings coming down the pipe. Let's just jump back to our S&P 500 here and take a look. So we are on the precipice of breaking this downward trend channel. I want to make sure that I have a few setups that are in my back pocket just in case this market strength holds. Because again, I believe with Netflix having reported such a horrible quarter and that horrible reaction, the S&P 500 is in any way, shape, or form, having some nice bullish action tomorrow, or it's positive, I want to make sure that I am trusting that, because this Netflix report is giving us every reason to slip into the abyss. And if we don't do that, I think that's a great signal right there. Let's look at our hourly chart. And yeah, you'll notice we're trading right up against this downward trend line. We jumped inside of our weekly value area. And I must admit, if I was on the desk trading today, I think I really could have capitalized very well on this move inside this weekly value area and then really just riding this thing to the top. But that's okay. Sometimes you got obligations. Sometimes you got to jump off the desk. The beauty of the markets, though, is that as a trend trader, if you really believe, oh my gosh, this trend might be flipping positive, there's going to be a ton of opportunities even after today. But take a look. Now we're jumping back inside of this downward trend channel in the after hours. So tomorrow is a very pivotal day. In the market, some days really matter. Other days are just noise, complete washouts, whatever you want to call them. Tomorrow is going to be significant because it's going to be, do we break above or do we fail again and start traversing the lows of this range? So yeah, tomorrow is going to be interesting. Let's take a look at some different areas of the market that appear to be setting up. We're going to keep this nice and short and sweet, and we're going to take a look at some charts here. So I'm actually seeing, as I did my scanning in the after hours, there are a lot more attractive setups heading into tomorrow. So this one, for instance, ABC, Amerisource, Bergen Corporation. Look at this. You can draw like a little downward trend line right here, and we're starting to jump out of it. Granted, this stock has made a fantastic run, but again, this is stock setting up pretty nicely. Take a look as well at Costco. Costco pulling back to that 20-day moving average. We're getting a nice bounce off. This was one of the names that I called out yesterday, and I sent out a pretty detailed trading setup for this name to Pristine Capital members. Palo Alto Networks, this is a cybersecurity name. Our trading setup was buying this on a pullback to the 20-day simple moving average. This one worked out pretty beautifully today. And this stock, for all intents and purposes, it really has not even broken out. So in this scenario where the indices, they start moving to the upside, we break those downward trend lines and we really start making progress, this is definitely another good name to keep your eye on. We had the travel stocks actually break out today. Names like Marriott, names like Hilton. Hilton is the name that I day traded the other day. Take a look at Hilton. And this is one, admittedly, I probably should have hung on to, but the market looked a little bit weak. It was like 2 sessions ago, so I just scalped this for a small winner. But yeah, the travel names, they are definitely following through. So this is another thing. A lot of traders that don't really follow a process, they probably looked at today's rally and they're like, I don't get it. The market's not allowed to rally when the Fed is tightening monetary policy, which could not be farther from the truth. So there's going to be a lot of players, if the market does break to the upside, they're not going to jump on board because they are too afraid. They just think the market can only go in one direction. We all know that's not the case. So for me, really, it's just listening to the market. And the market, it's always going to be my dance partner. I want to make sure I'm in lockstep with it. This stock, Paychex Inc., this one also got a nice pullback to the 20-day moving average on very light volume. Take a look at the volume in the past couple of days as this thing has pulled back. Another potential, let's look at, there's some more names as well. And this is really just like, as I run my preliminary scans through the night, typically I take this list of names and I start whittling it down, and I'll make some detailed trade setups. And those, I share in the Pristine Capital trading community. This PWR, this one is also breaking out to the upside. This is Quanta Services. And then another one, this is one of my personal favorites. We have Pure Cycle Technologies. This is a name I've been watching for the past couple days. And look at this, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 consecutive green sessions. And now we're above this monthly point of control. So I'm definitely seeing some more bullish setups as I do my analysis tonight. Definitely want to watch and see if we get any follow through from Netflix. And also tomorrow we have Tesla reporting earnings after the bell. So a lot of exciting stuff to watch for tomorrow's session. Take a look at where Tesla is right now. We're kind of just consolidating into the earnings report, and you can see we're below that 20-day moving average. So yeah, tomorrow's going to be a really fun day. We're going to get, the river card, so to speak, on whether this is like the tail end of this little mini rally, or maybe we get a nice move into May. That would be the best case scenario. If we got a nice move into May, all these poor location shorts would get shaken out, and then we could probably do the whole sell in May and go away thing. I'm going to keep it brief for tonight. Thank you so much for your patience while I've been in Long Island the past 2 days. Much appreciated. And yeah, tomorrow we're going to be back in the saddle, ready to hit it hard for the full trading day team. Let's go. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you all tomorrow.